Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. I am here today and we are going to be doing Q&A for the very first time. And we're going to be doing this with a very good friend of mine, and I chose this person because I feel like we're going to have a really great conversation. Like, a lot of people can also relate to us since we are almost at the same age bracket, and I know that a lot of people my age, especially my friends, watches this video. So shout out to you guys. You know who you are, and my vision in this video is to really, I hope that people that watches this can learn something, can at least get wisdom from this video. So without further ado, let's go on our video. So why don't you introduce yourself, Christine?
Okay.
Ate Christine.
Hello.
Should I call you Ate?
Don't call me that. Hello everyone, I'm Christine. Currently, I'm studying at Maputo Habagat University as a second-year AB psychology student. And I'm here because Casey asked me to do a mini podcast with her, and I'm excited to share my thoughts and ideas about life, and I'm excited to hear from her as well.
I chose Christine to be with us today because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a great conversation since we are almost in the same age bracket. I feel like we can relate to each other, and I also hope that the people that watches this video can relate to us as well. I hope that one or two people can also learn something from this video, especially kitang duha, no? I hope that we'll motivate each other as well, or learn something from each other. How are you, Christine? How's your life?
Basically, nasa bahay lang naman ako always, and I'm busy with online class, mostly academics. But pretty much I'm having a blast naman because sometimes I give myself a break by going out, not often, like very maybe once or twice a week, because
Very light
we're
lang.
still in the pandemic. Very light lang. Unlike before, I would always go out every day. But yeah, everything's great for me so far. How about you, Ace? I would like to hear from you.
Yeah, I am pretty good, I think. I haven't been busy the past 2 months. I think I was temporarily laid off from work because of COVID. We had a new restrictions in December that lasted until February 8th. But I'm coming back to work. I'll be pretty busy. I miss working. I miss the high volume of stress in the kitchen. That's my 2021 so far. It has been pretty boring.
Thank you, Ace.
You're welcome, Christine. Why don't we go on to our questions? The main
Okay.
part of this video. You can start.
Since you're the moderator naman, I think you should start.
This is going to be just, I have some questions for Christine and she has some questions for me, and she doesn't have to answer all of it. We can just both anong tawag niyan? Parang back to back. Basta, you get what I mean. Whatever. Actually, my first question is, do you think your dreams are a reflection of something deeper within your mind?
Wow, now we're talking about dreams agad, ha?
Yes, let's get straight to it.
I think it reflects a deeper sense in me. Basically, my dreams naman is to be, a successful psychologist and be a front runner when it comes to promoting mental health in my community, especially in General Santos. There are lots of kasi, ang daming kulang when it comes to addressing mental health care here in Gensan. And not just in Gensan, but in the whole of Philippines talaga. Going back to the question, if it reflects me talaga as a person, of course it does. I mean,
Of course.
it comes from my experiences in life, and maybe the reason why I came at this point. Kasi dati talaga, hindi ko talaga dream maging psychologist. Like, I've been exposed to, hosting and stuff, writing. That has been my passion ever since. But given that I encountered several challenges in life, and it was most of them are something na I really didn't expect. It came to me by surprise talaga to pursue psychology. And I think I want to, pursue this path kasi I believe na there are more people like me who need more attention when it comes to this. Kasi I was not diagnosed with an eating disorder, but I had tendencies. And I really tried to, seek for professional health care here in Jensen. But the thing is, wala. I mean, we have psychologists here, but they're not specializing. Iba kasi talaga if you have the proper method of addressing eating disorders. Eating disorder kasi I think everyone once encountered this mental illness in their lives, especially the adolescent stage where in the Erik Erikson psychosocial development, ang conflict natin dito is a conflict between identity and confusion. So, pretty much at this age, in between the adolescence years, you're trying to get a sense of yourself. Oh my God, my dogs are so noisy. Okay, wait lang talaga. Ingay kasi to siya. Masyado siyang ingay. Hello, sorry. Now I'm back. Yeah, I was talking about the Erik Erikson psychosocial development. Yung conflict with adolescent people, it's between identity and self-confusion. Kaya it's really hard to establish agad to get a sense of yourself at such an early age. But if you did naman, then that's good for you, especially when you're surrounded with good people around you. Maybe you had a good upbringing, but let's be honest that not everyone has the luxury of having a good family background, in a good environment. I really want to pursue this career as a psychologist because we have to address the issues, especially the unspoken ones about mental health.
Yeah.
Because there is a vast spectrum in mental health that needs to be discussed. There's a whole spectrum behind mental health.
Just like from your answer, did you diagnose yourself that you had eating disorder? Or did you actually confirm it with someone professional?
I'm ashamed to answer this, but I diagnosed myself, which is bad. Kasi when I started self-diagnosing, reading a lot of stuff about eating disorders, parang nagkaroon ng transference ba. Yung mga nababasa ko, I made myself believe na, oh my gosh,
you had
I'm
a problem.
Experiencing this. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm problematic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And naglumala siya nung nalaman ko na ito pala yung symptoms ng bulimia, like vomiting, forcing yourself to vomit. Nung nabasa ko yun, then that's when I started to force myself to vomit and stuff. So, oh my God. It's really wrong to self-diagnose yourself kasi what you could be thinking, it's just your mind telling you when you should not let your emotions control you, diba? Kasi sinabi din sa Bible that the heart can be deceitful. So you have to really put your how do I say this? Do not keep your guard down, especially when you're reading stuff from the internet. You really need to seek professional help talaga. But I think I made it through being with people. Kept going out ganyan, and I'm happy that this specific people are there for me. They would always accompany me mag-dinner like almost every day. They would take me to restaurants. It would be their treat. Parang just to make sure that I was eating well with a good support system. You can get through anything.
Yeah.
But for severe cases, you really need professional help.
Okay, so just a side note, everyone that's watching, please, if you're having any symptoms of any kind of sickness or whatever it is, illnesses whatsoever, do not be Dr. Google or Dr. WebMD. Always make sure that you seek professional help. Like, I'm not making fun of Christine's experience, but I'm just letting you guys know that it's good, it's okay to admit that there's something wrong. But if you're just reading it off of internet and you're like, oh, I have these symptoms, and your brain would start, oh, I have to experience these symptoms, or I have to parang if there's gonna be vomiting, you're just gonna force yourself to vomit so that you pass the symptoms that is listed on the internet. But don't do that, especially if you have access to doctors, clinics, whatsoever. Go see your professionals and seek.
So it's my turn to ask you now. I actually didn't prepare, specific questions talaga. What I
Wow.
did was nag-compile ako ng mga resources. Kasi, lately in our psych class, it's been really, really great. And my most favorite part is learning more about life in our psychology classes. And we have this specific subject, developmental psychology, where we explore the minds of infants down to the old ones. And everything about life.
From life to
talaga.
death. Char.
Yeah, that's right. From life to death. And I came across this very interesting part in our books where it talked
Mhm.
about, early adulthood. I think since you're turning 19, right, AC?
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked you because I wanted to check if you're about to enter the early adulthood, but you're in the transitioning stage to early adulthood. And I read from our book that emerging adulthood is the age of possibilities. It is a time of period of optimism as more 18 to 25 year olds feel that they will someday get to where they want to be in life. Arnett suggested that this optimism is because these dreams have yet to be tested. For example, it is easier to believe that you will eventually find your soulmate when you have yet to have had a serious relationship. It may also be a chance to change directions for those whose lives up to this point have been difficult. I think everyone is pretty much aware that ages 18 to 25-year-olds are still at the phase where they're still trying to figure out their life.
Yeah.
Probably people at this age are done with their high school season kasi most of them up to dropping out of college na lang to, pursue a job as high school graduates, which pretty much works for some, for others naman, but not for everyone.
Yeah.
And, being that you're turning 19, AC, have you always had this sense of optimism about what you're going to do in your future? I mean, are you pretty much certain that what you're pursuing is, the big deal, the real deal, the final deal?
Thank you. That's a really good question. Actually, for me, I had the luxury of, of figuring it out early on. So in high school, I just graduated high school last year. So we have this parang we called options classes na options ang tawag. So aside from our actual major classes, we have extracurricular. But I took up culinary arts. So I took up culinary arts from grade 10 till 12. So in grade 10, it's just 80 minutes class. We are able to, learn about foundations and, mother sauces, bechamel, tomato sauce, whatever. And then in grade 11, I get to do it for 2 blocks worth. So 160 minutes. So I have that class in first and second subject. So that's in the morning. And then after first and second is lunch. So really the point of being in grade 11, grade 12 in culinary arts is we have to serve food, blah, 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 for cafeteria, for the teachers and the staff. And that's where I really learned how to work in an actual restaurant. Kasi ang kitchen sa school namin is set up like an actual kitchen na parang restaurant na talaga. So that's where I actually fell in love with culinary arts. And from that point on, I told myself, now, you know what? I see myself in this industry. I see myself being a chef in the future. From grade 11, I've just been working on that path. I had physics and chemistry right after lunch. And parang sa akin, you know what? Sometimes kasi I skip classes, I cut classes. So after lunch, I wouldn't go to my physics class and I would just stay in the kitchen. And I would help out the chefs kasi they have downtime during third block. So I would help out the chefs, clean up, and then set up for the next day or set up for the grade 10 classes that's coming in the afternoon. So, and then I really enjoyed that. So since I don't need physics for culinary arts, what I did, I dropped out of physics class. In my spare time, I spend it in the kitchen at school. So yeah, I fell in love with it and I feel like it's the real deal and also, don't get me wrong, I had to also really fight for it with my parents and my siblings. So everyone's in the medical field, and I don't want it. I think this is the real deal, and I'm pretty optimistic. I always tell myself though, if this doesn't work, it's fine. For example, like for me right now, I feel like this is okay. Like this is where this is my goal. This is what I'm trying to achieve. I want to be a chef soon. But if something happens that would like change my whole life, I'm gonna be okay. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people right now, they're in their 30s or 50s whatsoever. They're still trying to figure out life. I'm only 18. I'm turning 19. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be battling on different circumstances in the next, I don't know, 3-4 months, and that would affect the decisions that I've been making from the past and up to today. So it's fine. Like if I would fail in taking up on this journey, it's fine. It's on me. It's not on my parents. It's not on my brother. It's not on whoever in my life. It's on me, and it's on me to also try to get back up and be back on track. If that answers the question.
Wow. Honestly, AZ, by the way I see it, you're going to succeed in that field, on culinary arts. Because when it comes to businesses, your puhunan is your talent, diba?
Yeah.
When it comes to running a corporation, you need to have talent. When it comes to, managing your employees, your production, it's still different when ikaw yung nasa top, but you had the naturally born talent to really manage a corporation. And same goes with you. I've seen a lot of businesses popping out these days, diba? Because of the pandemic, a lot of people are baking, a lot of people are cooking, offering their talents on the table, hoping to get profit from it. And with you, given that you have the professional training, you received, hands-on training with professional cooks, and you were able to really see them, how they do things and stuff. That's a luxury for me, actually. Kasi, diba, I'm one of those sellers, offering my talent on the table, but it's really different once you're trained for it. Because you are offering 100% to your customers, not just raw talents, but, really hinimay talaga na talent. Something that you have been really working on. Kaya that's a lifelong investment for me, having a good background in culinary. I think you will really get somewhere, Ace.
Thank you. I'm not a real chef yet. I have so much to learn still. And in my industry, you need to be working. You need to actually experience the whole thing before you actually know everything in your head. Since you're not just reading it off of a book. You have to actually hold a knife. You have to actually wash dishes and wash vegetables whatsoever. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you, AC. You answered my question very, very well.
I hope that makes sense. I feel like I was just blabbing words.
Of course it does.
It's my turn. So how do you show your emotions? Like anger, sadness, happiness?
Before everything went downhill, charot. No. I used to be a very open book to people, to strangers I meet, especially when I'm joining camps, with other people, joining this and that. But ever since I started aging, yeah, I'm getting old.
No, you're not.
I'm turning 21. Since I enjoyed being an open book so much, I came at this point where I choose to be expressive to a few number of people. Specific people who I share emotional connection with. But it doesn't have to be romantic, but in terms of friendship, familial bonds. So how do I express my emotions these days? When I'm experiencing extreme emotions, I don't share it immediately with people, even to my closest friends. I deal with it by reaching out for my Bible and talking to God about it. Because when you're in such an extreme emotional state, you tend to make hasty decisions that you'll soon regret in your later life or tomorrow, I guess. Kaya when I start to feel that, I have to pause for a while and deal with it with God. Especially these days, people are so emotionally reactive, especially in social media. When they see a certain issue, they type everything in Twitter or in Facebook and press tweet. And a lot of people, you get several reactions from people. The next thing you know, it's trending na. And that's the reason why I, shut down my Twitter, because I think Twitter is such a
Toxic.
stressful. Yeah, that's the word. It's very toxic for me because I don't want to. When I see stuff, there's a transference going on, and I immediately, feel the emotions of what the people is saying. So, nakarelate ka.
I
think you
agree.
have something to say.
I agree. You want me to say
Yes,
something?
please. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
actually, I just recently got off social media, and it's because of that. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, if you look up my Twitter page, it's mostly just my close friends back home, and not more on like my friends here, or like very public. It's not that my Twitter is not that public, so I can, kasi Twitter before is like where you can actually like parang pour out your emotions, diba, without any judgments. But then now what's going on is literally what's on your mind, you just type it right away. And what happens with Twitter right now, it became parang outlet of people to rant about the government, to say something about this person, to like judge this and judge that. And like it's so like, but toxic siya, and just like what you said, if you just read it, it's not like you're not gonna be affected by it. If you read it, especially if it hits close to your heart, you're gonna be affected. And sometimes ako lang, I don't really express myself in specific issues, politics, whatsoever, but still, like, you get fired up, and sometimes I get to a point na I judge people in my mind lang, na like, why would you say such thing, like parang, why don't you just keep it to yourself instead of like maging noisy in social media? Just keep it to yourself, or talk to someone about it na really close to you, and you can learn off of each other instead of blabbing it out on social media. That's just my take.
What you said about Twitter before is so true. I mean, Twitter used to be my, fan account. When I was in elementary, I used to be such a huge fan of K-pop back then, and I would always tweet my, my bias in Super Junior, and hoping that they would reply to me, because they reply to their fans in Twitter back then. But then for a good period of time, I stopped using Twitter. And when I got back using Twitter, that's when the, cancel culture started growing.
So, cancel culture. I am currently editing the vlog, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna stop here. I've been looking for a perfect timing where to stop, actually, because I want this vlog to have a part 2. So in the next topic, we're gonna talk about, cancel culture, social media, and all that jazz. And there's still so much to talk about. Actually, we touch base on a lot of topics still, so I hope that you guys watch out for that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two from me and Christine. I'm really blessed to have her be a part of this video, and I hope that you guys would also watch the next part of this vlog. I'm very excited to share it with you guys, so please don't forget to like and subscribe on my channel. Comment down below if you've learned something from us, and comment if you have any ideas on what should I do next on this channel. So wherever you are, have fun, keep safe, have a great day, have a great night. God bless you guys, and see you soon.